Here we go. So hello everyone again. And today we're going to have another webinar with me and our guests. Today we will talk about e-commerce performance, how to unlock that from speed to conversions. So now let's check my sound. If you hear me, if you can see me well, please give me a plus in our group chat. If you have any questions, please also send me a message on marketing@webmeridian.net. And in the end of this webinar, I will reveal like 2 or 3 questions, and me and my guests we will answer them properly, and you will receive full information about the e-commerce performance. So let's move on. I will be the host today as usual, and we have 2 guests. Oleg, you may know him from our previous webinars, and Pavlo. So let me introduce myself for a while if you see me for the first time, and also I'll give a word to our 2 guests. So I am an e-commerce expert. You can also read some shortly about my profile. I have 6 years of experience in different business strategies, launching businesses with the help of Magento. We'll talk about this today. Shopify, again, we'll talk about this. And please, Oleg and Pavlo, I'll give a word to introduce yourself for a while.
Okay. Hi, my name is Oleg. I am a developer and e-commerce website consultant for over 10 years. My main platform of interest is Shopify now, and working with it for a pretty long time. I am always willing to share some knowledge as usual.
Great, thank you. And our new guest today, Pavlo, please, your word.
Hi everyone, I'm Magento 2 certified developer. I have around 7 years with Magento and 9-10 years with e-commerce. It was different frameworks, YA second, Kohana, Bittrex, OpenCart, etc. I worked on the different kinds of projects, from passes to high-load projects, custom imports, integrations, data migrations, code migrations, developing new features, APIs, but also it was a lot of bug fixing during this, because we all have old projects, legacy projects, so it's you can't avoid this. So yep, let's go for the
Sure, great. Thank you both for this intro, and we have true professionals here. So let's move on to our agenda. We'll talk about 3 different things today. First, key aspects of e-commerce performance. Then we'll move to page speed optimization techniques. After that, we'll talk shortly about how navigation and design influences sales. Later on, how ease of ordering drives conversions. After that, mobile optimizations, and your questions and my answers and our expert answers. So now you have the opportunity to ask the questions directly me. Also, if you plan to launch your business, if you know how to do that, maybe you have some questions left, please send me a message to my email, and we will give you even a free complimentary audit of your business. So don't lose your chance and get this present as fast as possible. We will be waiting. So let's start. Key aspects of e-commerce performance. So e-commerce performance, it's not the same as a website speed. It consists of, say, 5 different modules, 5 different packages: mobile optimization, search engine optimization, we know that, as well as SEO, security and compliance, and then CRO, conversion rate optimization, and website speed, so page speed. So don't mix this up. Key metrics for evaluating e-commerce performance. We have bounce rate, conversion rate, page load time, and cart abandonment rate. So later on, we'll talk about that in more detail. Right now, you can read brief information about that, so I do not just waste your time on this intro and some definitions. Website speed and performance. Some statistics. Website loading speed is one of the ranking factors in Google, widely known as a Google PageRank. So Google found that as a page load time goes from 1 to 3 seconds, the probability of bounce increases 32%, just a 1/3 of the requests. As it goes from 1 second to 5, the probability of bounce increases 90%. So that is a very, very important thing. According to a recent study, a 1 second delay in a page load time yields 11% fewer page views, 16% decrease in customer satisfaction, and 7% in lost conversions. We have two cases here also to represent, like Walmart and Amazon. So Walmart showed a 2% increase in conversion for every 1 second of improvement to their page speed. You can imagine the size of the Walmart, and just 2%, it's a huge amount. And we are talking about only 1 second. Amazon has even more terrific statistics. So 1% increase in revenue for every just 10 milliseconds of improvement on their site speed. That's impressive. Page load time and page speed optimization. So a little more information from you. So on the right side of the screen, you can see the example from Amazon. You can see that Amazon has also not the best website speed and performance. 29 is a really low rate. We should avoid that in our businesses. We have like several different, let's say, factors or metrics. So let's talk about that one by one. We have a FCP. It's first contentful paint. It's time from when a user navigates to the site until the browser displays the first bit of the content. For the user, this is a signal that the site is starting to load. Then we have TTI, when is time is fully of the page when it's fully interacted. Then largest contentful paint, LCP. It's loading all the visible content. And the local blocking time measures delay in page interactivity. Also, we have speed index and tools, how to measure that, how to know what is your performance there. So we can use a Google Page Speed Insights, Lighthouse, or GT metrics. That is really helpful to define and understand how is your website, how is your platform, your shop, your store, or marketplace, how is it going? And right now we're going more deeper about this expertise. We talk more technically about the page load processes, step by step, about the page speed optimization. Maybe you're not really familiar with these terms, and maybe you don't understand it really well. So now we'll talk with our experts in different steps. What is loading first, and what is this ending by? This is really important because we have it goes 1 second or 2 seconds or 3 or 4. We have 8 points, 8 stages, how we can do some optimization in any of that. So maybe we'll start with Pavlo, and he will let us know more about DNS.
Okay, my first suggestion is to use you just need to make sure that you use fast DNS provider, because each request you will lose the time from, for example, your client just from a mobile phone just open your website. It's doing a call to cell tower, and from that you retrieving the request on your server, and from that they try to reach DNS server. So if any of this element of the chain will be slow, in general we will receive slow loading. So just make sure you can use for at least for Magento. There are a lot of different Cloudflare or other stuff, so you can just pick any of them. And also you should enable prefetching to after you type domain name, it still need to receive the real domain API. So prefetching will help also on this step to like make it faster. And also you can use HTTP 2 or HTTP 3 to reduce connection overhead. So just to make sure that you use like SSL certificates, and also you should use or just enable keep alive connection to reduce connection setup, because it like from after some time it will just like disable, and to get info you will need to connect again. But if you use this, it will give you some advantage, like not big, but still you will get like faster working website.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying. We just touched first and the second point, and maybe third and the rest I will ask Oleg also to explain a little bit in more details, please.
Yeah, of course. Well, one of the most important things that need to be also covered is obviously the request response setup for the website. It's important since all the files will be loaded, and depending on how many connections you have, the difference in timing will be also, and the combination is also important for that part. Very useful thing is CDN to use. It's highly recommended since it's just a delivery of the content that is physically closer from the servers that are physically closer to the current user, and obviously compressing. Reducing size is always nice. Some HTML parsing also is important. Minifying document itself, minifying the HTML will reduce loading time and increase productivity. Yeah, and some non-critical elements also should be just loaded a little bit later than the most critical. Also, it's important to take a look at the CSS and JS loading. It's minifying always, it's very important. Asynchronous loading for some parts of JavaScript and deferring of the CSS as well. Loading of critical and the most important parts of CSS is a must for nowadays. It's just very highly recommended, and obviously removing all the unnecessary and unused code is also a thing that is important, because it's just taking some precious milliseconds. Better rendering tree, proper combination and the structure of the loaded files, like CSS files, and reducing the complexity to speed up things. It's also important. For the layout, it's calculation of element positions. In general, it's optimizing of the position of the elements, reducing complexity of the layouts, and changing them appropriately, and just using maybe some more simplified view of the website, which also will reduce the loading speed as well. And obviously, reducing itself of the complexity of the view, like what we are going to display, getting rid of some maybe unneeded animations, maybe loading proper sized images, some maybe unneeded CSS, that is visually is not very needed. That is all very important.
Thanks a lot, Oleg. I think our audience could see and understand and hear that it's quite a complex project process of making this page speed optimization really going smooth. There are so many steps that must be done. And guys, if you need like any hand in that, just don't forget to revert to our team and we will help you with that. So right now we'll talk more about Shopify and Magento. I'll ask more specific questions and our experts will provide an answer to us. So we can select, we can choose, we can compare, we can understand the problems and troubles or steps, what we can do there. So about, of course, page speed optimization. So my question is, what are the standard Shopify and Magento features for performance optimizations? Caching, image optimization, etc. So we'll talk with Oleg about Shopify and we will talk with Pavlo about Magento. I will give a word to Oleg first about the Shopify. So please.
Yeah, for the Shopify, it's kind of the common and pretty standard feature, especially about the caching. It's done by the server side of the Shopify servers and is applied always automatically. Also, it usually takes some time to have everything cached really well. And obviously, using CDNs is one of the most important things. That is also preset and provided by Shopify servers itself. And you don't need to go somewhere to look something additional and so on and so on. Also, it's an image optimization. It's a bit standard for the Shopify. They are reducing some sizes of the images and providing an ability to load an exact sizes of the images for exact dimensions, but that is also relied to the themes, which is very important because the main platform, the main like control and the platform of displaying that is theme still, and it's very important to have theme optimized, have that images optimized in general, and have an ability to display them properly.
All right, that's clear. And what can Magento offer to us, Pavlo?
Basically, like a lot of steps to check, but I recommend to start like from check your server, because Magento is let's call it heavy. It doesn't like small or slow servers. So yeah, it's like first thing to check even before this list that you see on the screen. Next steps is to check that like all cached types are enabled and you use Magento in production mode, not like in other. And also you need to make sure that you don't have not cached pages because of someone's mistakes. And yes, you can use also like not out-of-box cache from Magento. You can use Vanish, you can use memcached, like Redis for session storage and other stuff. So it will help you to reduce the server, reduce the loading of the main server. You can separate the between. For example, if you store your session in your database, it will also like touch like your performance, because you can save it on like in the files at least, or like you just the best way is to separate and don't store everything on one server, and also used CDN for this. You can store your images or media if you use maybe videos or whatever. You can store it somewhere on CDN and just easily connect it with Magento. And you should also, especially if you have like a big catalog, if you have a lot of products, you need to make sure that reindexing are working properly and it doesn't like trigger reindexing on each save. So you just need to make sure that it's on schedule, and you should set schedule like in night hours to avoid this process during the business hours. The next step, as I mentioned previously, is CDN for images. Also, you need to make sure that you use lazy loading. It will reduce significantly the page loading speed because media is almost like every time it's like the biggest items on the page. So reducing the loading of like amount of images will help you to reduce the loading time. Also, you need to make sure, as Oleg mentioned on previous slide, minimize CSS and JS files. It also helps you to reduce loading time, and it's not hard to do. You just take a few clicks from admin panel. Even you need to, I don't know, call some special worker for this. You can do it yourself. And also the final step is to review DB and logs, and also make sure that you don't save, as I said previously, you don't save session data in DB, because like it sounds good if you have like a small server, you don't have like a lot of customers, but without like covering this, you will have issues with big database, and you will have issues that sometimes you can like lose connection from this, and you will also need to work with for this you will need specialists to cover this part from DB side, because it still will be needed to like do old tables, to create new ones, because like if you will store like, I don't know, for example, a few years of sessions in your DB, and each time you will try to save something or find something, it will take a huge amount of time. So yeah, you just need to make sure that you also don't have like additional third-party integrations or modules that can affect performance. If you have like some doubts about installing, or just like some doubts about already installed module, you can just like disable it and check it without enabled caches. Just check like count the time, and yeah, basically like if you follow the steps, it will help you like to significantly increase your page loading speed, but it still can be do a lot of steps that are like not mentioned here, but basically those steps will help you the most. Other steps, it's like depends on the situation and depends on the system. So yeah, these are the main one.
Great. Thanks a lot for this detailed explanation. I think for most of our audience and guests, that must be really clear. So really appreciate that. And if our visitors, our viewers have more questions, you still have time to ask them to my email, and 2 or 3 questions I will take into the end of this webinar, and we will answer them personally. And don't forget about the complimentary audit to message me and send me to my email, and we will give our free comments what to do with your ready-made business, or if you plan to launch one. And we will go to second question that will make our picture even more clear. So how do new versions of Shopify and Magento affect page speed? Can updating the version impact the page speed? Oleg, your turn now.
Well, Shopify have released like a few years ago the new version of the themes itself, and for the 2.0 themes, there is a bit of difference between the previous version, and that difference is a JSON scheme format that is used for templates, which is obviously much faster and better in comparing to the liquid ones, the previous version ones. They are just faster to implement, better structure. It's handled better by the Shopify servers, and obviously gives a good result and a significantly faster load time. Also, there is a lot of different things that are related to the themes itself. It just enriches the instrumentary that is available for the 2.0 themes, and just allows them to cooperate better with the servers of the Shopify itself.
Great, got it. And now we'll talk about Magento again.
Basically, the same we can apply to the Magento, because like if you receive updates in like 90% of cases, it will help you to improve speed, performance, or it contains some bug fixes or some security issues fixes. So yeah, better to, like, if you don't have time to update your Magento to the latest version, at least use the patches. They are prepared, like you can just install it on the server like a separate file and just run one command, and it helps you to save your data, save your business sometimes, because it was like a few weeks ago one of the biggest issues Magento from like nearest 6 months. Yeah, so basically it's better just to check, or ask your I don't know, developer to check, and I don't know, like spend 2-3 hours just to investigate or install the patch if it's ready, and that's it. It will help you to like be on the top. Yep.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Thank you for the tips. And third question from me. Does the choice of theme affect page speed? What are the top Shop Magento theme that enhances performance? Oleg, you're starting again.
Okay, there's actually pretty big range of pretty cool and efficient themes, but those are sometimes a bit specific, and it's very important to understand the final goals and the theme of the shop itself, and the retail products or some other things that you're going to sell, because depending on what you are selling, you should select one or another theme. Also, it's important to understand about the plans that themes, some themes are for one plans, and some themes are for other plans which don't have additional functionality. Suppose the fastest is the basic one, the one that Shopify offers from scratch. It's like the pre-installed theme. Usually it's done, and it's pretty nice, pretty fast, but it's basic theme still. It's a bit cut in functionality, and design ability is not so wide as like other good paid themes. And for some of the best themes that are pretty nicely optimized, I would recommend Prestige, maybe Impact, some different other themes that are listed here, but that is, I must say once again, is depending on what the range of products and what kind of products is set for the store, which are sold there.
Okay, thanks. Pavlo, how about Magento themes? What can we do here?
From the performance view, the best option would be 𝗦𝗲𝗍𝗲, but it requires like some experience from developer, and like if you had like tight budget on the project, maybe it would be better to use Magento or Breeze, but still, like in any case, especially if you don't like build your website from the scratch, it will require some modifications from like backend and frontend part. So you should take it to consideration that it's not possible just to buy a theme and install it on the server. So yep.
Thank you. All right, now we go to our probably final question about this chapter. What are the top Shopify apps Magento extensions for boosting the performance? Oleg, you will start a short speech about the Shopify.
Yeah, in general, there are a lot of apps that are self-proclaimed as optimizers of performance, and but they are pretty similar in general. There are a couple of segments of those optimizers, usually some media optimizers, some structure optimizers. For example, for the image optimization, there are a couple of recommended apps like Tiny SEO and Crush. That's kind of image optimizers. For scripts, usually Page Speed Booster or Flash maybe, but there is kind of specific apps, and usually they all are including some SEO optimization as well, some additional features. They are performed still differently. They allow to do different things still, but the main idea of them is kind of similar, just to take some part of your website and reduce its size usually.
Okay, thanks. And I'm sure that Magento has also something to offer to us, right, Pavlo?
Yes, like to cover like the most of the cases, you can use Page Speed Optimizer by Mirasuite or Google Speed Optimizer by 𝗦𝗲𝗍𝗲𝗍. It's still like I'm a bit predetermined for these modules, because like both of the companies mostly consists of like Ukrainian developers. So yep, but still it solved the issues, and in most of the cases it will gives you like a huge jump, at least from the page speed test, because like still, if you have a lot of modification, you will need to do something on your own, but it will cover like the most of the cases, and it will helps you to avoid this like really time-consuming checks and optimizations. So yeah, I recommend this modules, and you can use it, or at least just give it a try.
Great, thank you. I really appreciate your answers. I think it now shows more full pictures. And if any of our audience needs a more deeper consultation or support about the page speed optimization or anything that is related to the Magento or Shopify marketplaces, portals, shops, stores, just email me at marketing@webmeridian.net and we will provide you with this information. And mostly it's totally free, so don't forget to lose your chance. Now we'll go to the navigation and design. First, few numbers and statistics. 61% of all consumers will leave for a competitor after just one negative experience. Almost 90% of shoppers say they will spend more money on their e-commerce purchases if they find what they need without contacting anyone. So that is crucial to understand that easy navigation and intuitive design is really important here, and we will talk deeper about that right now. Intuitive site navigation can positively impact conversion rate by 18.5%. So we have a problem here. Many online shoppers face difficulty finding products due to confusing website structures. Yeah, it can be too complicated. You need to find something and you click so many times, it makes you, I don't know, frustrated, angry, impatient. You just lose your time. So, and you just leave this website, right? So this can lead to problems and you will lose your customer. How to avoid that? We come up with some solutions. First is a 3-click rule. It means that you must achieve any kind of category, shopping cart, goods on anything in 3 clicks. It must be really smooth and really fast and easy to understand. Secondly, you can be inspired by the really giant stores like Amazon and eBay or other competitors to understand how it works. Third one, understand and please prepare the clear and logical product categories, parent categories, subcategories, and that's enough. No need sub categories, dig into deep. And provide search functionality and filters to easy shopping experience. That's basically it. But you need to be quite wise or technical to understand how to use it and how to organize that. Next thing about very important rate is abandoned rate, abandoned shopping cart. So it means that your customers has almost bought the product. It's almost in the pocket. It's just in the cart, but something happened and purchases didn't happen at all. So site was left without purchase. And this rate is huge, so almost 70%. Let me read this text for you as well. The average shopping cart abandonment rate is almost 70%. This means that 7 out of 10 shoppers at your store will not click purchase. It can happen in different reasons, and we have different solutions. So, some more statistics here. Almost a quarter of a website urged visitors to create an account. 18% of customers say they abandoned their online cart because they didn't feel that the e-commerce store was trustworthy. 17% felt the checkout procedure was too long or complicated. 9% felt there weren't diverse payment options, and 3% had experience with the website crashing even at that time. So our solutions, what we recommend, it can improve your bounce rate, your shopping cart abandonment rate. You can save 35% and increase the conversion by that amount of numbers. So first, simplify the purchase process. Second, reduce the numbers of fields to fill out, so make it simple again. Third, enable order replacement without registration on your site. And fourth, integrate the most popular payment methods like PayPal, Stripe, Google Pay, Apple Pay, manual credit card detail fill outs. That will really help. Another thing, what is really important is mobile responsiveness. Previously, like 10 years ago, maybe people used to buy everything using their laptops or computers, but right now we all more use our phones. They're in our hands wherever we are. So we need to understand that how it looks on our phones and how it works on our phones. It's really important right now. Mobile traffic in e-commerce is currently 65%. You see, just 2 out of 3 potential customers using their phones. Since 2016, m-commerce has seen an average increase of 33.8% each year, the biggest growth rate of all channels. So we need to understand that now we have to count about the mobile, and that it's even number one when the instrument where people go and buy something. 79% of the smartphones users say that they use their device to make purchases through shopping apps or website. Over the last year, it's estimated that 56% of all online sales comes from mobile device. 40% of users will go to the competitor after a bad mobile experience, yet an alarming 84 have experienced difficulty completing a mobile transaction. Google uses mobile friendliness as a ranking factor. What can we do here? Design and develop a responsive website that looks and works seamlessly on smartphones and tablets. Doesn't sound great? Yes. Does it sound complicated? Maybe yes, maybe no. If you feel that it's really complex and if you don't know what to do with that, just send us a message again and we will help you to do that. So right now it's almost the end of our webinar, but as I promised at the beginning, now we have a quick session of questions and answers. So now I'll browse randomly 3 of them and we'll see, we will answer together to all of them. And probably it will be like great addition to our webinar. So let me just use my browser, go to the email and receive some email. Oh, thank you. Lots of questions. Let me pick up just randomly. I'll pick up one. All right, here we are. Can you explain how caching is currently implemented and whether we can improve it for better performance? Thank you for the question. Pavlo, I think it refers to you. Would you please answer to this question?
Yes, as I said previously, like if simple, cache, like for example, you open the page on this on the website at least once. So now you have like saved HTML because server just can't give you the PHP code. It's just it's running through PHP code and just outputting you the HTML file. So for this page, you now have the copy on the server, and if you request this page, it will just receive you the like prepared file already. So it will not lose time to gathering info, trying to get collections and other stuff. So yeah, it will like as I said, if simple, it's just it. So just store it like ready version of the page and just gives you the ready like product. But to improve this speed, you just need to make sure that you use right caching machine. You can use, as I said previously, like a lot of different like cache caching system for Magento. So like at least like varnish or memcached, it will also help you to it just like head on top of the like out of the box cache, and it will help you at least like on the first stage, because even if you have like bad performance on the page and other stuff, your client will just receive the ready page without waiting, without like I don't know, watching the spinner on the page like for 5 seconds or something. It will just gives you the page. Your client will not know that you have issues with your server or other stuff. So yep, you can just use, as I mentioned, Vanish or memcached. That's it.
Great, thanks a lot. I think our visitor who asked this question is really happy with this full answer. Thanks a lot. And now we have a time for a second one. I think to be fair enough, I'll pick the question to Oleg right now. Okay, here you are. Does the loading speed depend on the number of production in a category? Oleg, how do you think?
I suppose you're referring to the products. Yeah, in general, amount of products is, I think that like it's just a logical thing. If you have a lot of products in category, there will be some downtime to gather information about those products. However, it's not very significant. It's if we are talking about the category itself. The thing is differently in Shopify, especially when you use different sections with the different collections connected to those sections. And they have not much, but different products and from different collections. That will be increasing the loading speed, obviously, because that will be additional bunch of information that is gathered.
All right, I think that's also fair enough. And okay, I thought that we do have still time for the third question. And I picked one that is right now really interesting. It's related to sales and sales and sales. So we have a like Black Friday, for example, right? The question is, how can we ensure the stable operation of our website during Black Friday, for example, and other sales events when traffic increases significantly? I think you can both just give us a short comments, please. Pavlo, how do you think?
From my perspective, it's covered on the server side mostly. Like if we knew, if you know that we're gonna receive like a lot more like purchases during some period, we can just take another, like open another node, additional server. If we use AWS, it can be easily covered also, but still, before this, you just need to make sure that your website is working properly, like on this, on those hardware that you have already. So before you can like ensure the stable operations during this period, you just need to confirm that it was working good, it was working fine before it, and after that you can increase the like server abilities to like work with more clients, to receive more, like many requests, much more than it used to. So yep, but in 90% of cases you just need to make sure that it was stable before.
Okay, thanks. Oleg, how about your opinion?
Well, from the Shopify perspective, it's just that the thing that is covered with the Shopify itself, the platform, and as there was a previous experience of the Black Fridays, nothing is dropping off. Everything is working pretty fine, even with the big amount of connections, the high loading on the websites. Suppose they are using some loading balances with additional calculation abilities for that, like additional servers, something like that. That is all covered with the Shopify, and the store owner, the business owner, should not even bother about it.
Great, thanks for these questions and answers. Thank you all. Oleg, again, Pavlo, thanks for your expertise. Thank you for attending our webinar. And also everyone who's just been with us and have seen and been through all this our webinar, thanks a lot for your participation. And I just want to remind you, if you still have some questions, if you would like to have a free audit of your business, or you plan to start one, just drop me a message on marketing@webmeridian.net, and we will give you a hint, we will give you the tips, and you will grow together with our expertise. So thanks again to everyone. We'll keep you tuned and be in touch and stay with us. Take care. Bye.